Sid from Sid's Trains here, and welcome to this 2019 York Train Show recap video. So it's been about a week since the York Train Show in York, Pennsylvania. This show is held by the TCA, the Train Collectors Association, in April and October, and this was, of course, the April show. And as always, it was a good show. I got to see a lot of cool trains, both running and for sale. I got to meet Mike Wolf at MTH and talk with him. Sadly, Lionel wasn't there due to reasons that are unknown to most people, most likely money and other things. But overall, it was a nice show. I got some cool things there, and I got to meet some nice people. So let's go talk about some of the stuff I got, and then at the end, I'll talk about some of my experiences. So starting off with some smaller items I got, this first item here is a track eraser, and this is for cleaning your track. This was from Henning's Trains. They were in the Orange Hall, and they were selling these at their booth. Here is the card, and there is the part number in the description. As you can see, I've already used it. It works really well, and my track is nice and clean now. But I would advise, if you use it on your track, to definitely wipe the track down after using it. But overall, this is a good item that I got at the train show. These two next items are also from Henning's Trains. These are two of John Will, or Gunrunner John, as some people may know him. These are two of his products at Henning's Trains: the programmable chuff generator for TMCC engines, and the super chuffer for enhancing your smokiness in your fan-driven smokiness, to be exact. I'm going to be using these in an engine that I'm upgrading, and I'll be showing that in another video. Finally is this Lionel Cab 1. I have about 4 of these. Sorry about the focus. There we go. There we go. I have about 4 of these, and I just kind of collect them. And I saw this one for a decent price, so I decided to pick it up. Moving on, I got this bag that has a bunch of trees in it. I don't buy lots of scenery products anymore because under my table I have a decent amount of scenery products from when I did my old layout. But when I can find them for a decent price, such as these trees, this assortment of trees in this bag, I'll pick them up. My dad actually saw this in a bin that was under a table, so we decided to pick them up because they were at a pretty decent price. Moving on, there's this Marks train set. This is actually something my dad got at the train show. It's a Marks the Meteor train set. I won't say much about it now because I will be doing a full review of this set in another video. But it's a pretty neat set, and my dad saw it, so he decided to pick it up. Up next is another train set. This is actually a Lionel train set, and this is the Lionel Working on the Railroad train set. This was a very low-end train set, and I've always thought it was neat with all the little accessories and figures it has. I'll also be doing a video on this, so I'll talk about more about it in that video. But I saw it for a good price, and I decided to pick it up. Moving on to rolling stock that I got at the train show. This first car here is a Lionel diecast stock car, and that goes with my diecast freight car series for my 700E Hudson. I saw it at the show, and I decided to pick it up because I didn't have it. Let me roll this up a little. The next car, this my dad picked up. This is a K-line boxcar, but what's neat about it is that it has a little voltmeter on it, and when you turn the track on, it reads the voltage of the track, and it's pretty accurate. And it has this little light on top as well, and it has cool graphics like the Lionel Factory on this side, and again the Lionel Factory. It's overall a pretty cool car, and my dad picked that up because he thought the voltmeter on the side was pretty cool. Up next is this set of Lionel Reefers. These are Lionel MPC or Fundimensions Toy Fair cars. The first one is 1981, the second is 82, and the third is 83. They're all very similar in design, but have slight differences. They have the MPC logo, the Fundimensions logo, and the Craftmaster logo on them. They were pretty cool cars, and I like collecting MPC era trains, so I decided to pick them up. Up next, we have these 3 freight cars here. This first one my dad got. This is a K-line boxcar, but it's kind of it's a little beat up. But my dad really just got it because it has this Volkswagen on the inside. It's missing the doors on this side and this side. The doors are here, but on the inside there's no car. But the main reason my dad got this car was because it has this little neat Volkswagen on the inside. Next is this Lionel post-war stock car. This I found in a bin under a table, and it had the original box, and it was only a couple bucks. So I decided to pick it up, and it's in pretty good condition. And finally is this not Lionel, MTH cannon car. There's this little mini cannon on it that can be moved back and forth. As you see, it has die-cast trucks and has a pretty good paint job on it as well. It's in the Pennsylvania Railroad paint scheme. These were pretty cool items that I found, and they were all at a decent price, so that's why I picked these up. These next 4 cars I found under a table at the train show, and they were in a bag all together, the 3 yellow and the green. They were only a couple bucks, so I decided to pick them up because these are actually from the Lionel Kickapoo Valley train set that I reviewed a little while back. And I thought that I either could run them with that set or paint them to look a little different. But I thought they were just kind of neat, so I picked them up. These next 3 cars my dad and I got from my dad's coworker, who is a private seller at the train show. And they're all post-war cars. This first one is another Sunoco tanker. I saw this in a bin under his table and decided I'd get it because I like the Sunoco tankers. And then these next 2 cars my dad got, he collects these flat cars, and he just saw this red one and decided he'd get it because it has the stakes on the side and the metal couplers and trucks. And then this car is also one of these flat cars, but instead of these posts, it has a work caboose on it, and that was kind of neat. And we don't have a caboose for these cars, so we decided we might as well get one that is the same car as these. So my dad picked that up. This next item is actually on the shelf right now. I've been running a lot of trains lately, so I had to put some things on the shelves. And what I'm talking about is this row of passenger cars behind my Empire State Express Hudson over here. And what these are Golden Gate Depot passenger cars. And they are really nice. They are all aluminum. Oh, sorry. These are all aluminum passenger cars, and they are in the Empire State Express scheme. So they say Empire State Express here, and each of them have a different name. This is of course, the postal car. But if you can, it might be hard to tell, but they have this slight tint of gold to them because they're from Golden Gate Depot, and I just think that's kind of neat. Even though it doesn't match the Hudson on the shelf, they are pretty nice cars, and there's 4 of them. And I got them from my friend Bob, who I mentioned in my last York train video. Overall, they're really nice cars, and they're really nice because they're made of all metal, and including the trucks. And there's almost no plastic in them. So here we have an assortment of items. I did not get this whole M10000 at the train show. What I actually got was the motor for the M10000. This is my Pride Lines remake of the Lionel M10000. And let me show you. This is the motor that used to be in it. And it might look all shiny and nice, but it was just extremely loud. It growled a lot, and I could never get it to be super quiet. So what I decided to do was instead buy a original pre-war M10000 motor and put it inside, and now this is very quiet, and it runs extremely smoothly and just is quiet. It's way better than that old motor that came with it. And you will be seeing that at the end of the video. The next thing I got was this. This is actually the bottom pan to an M10000. That's what this down here is, this brown section at the bottom. That's this bottom frame. And I got this because I might be doing some modifications to this engine at some point. So I decided instead of ruining this one, I would use one that's been painted already and already messed with. The next thing is another vestibule for this set. I got it in case I do any modifications as well, so I don't mess up the ones that are on this already. And this last item is very unique. This is a Pride Lines only M10000B unit. This engine only ever had one motor in it, But what this does is give you another. As you see, there's another motor in the bottom, and at the front here there's a plug that you plug into this motor. And my dad saw this and he thought it was really neat, so he decided to get this B unit. The only thing that's wrong with that is that it's the wrong color, but I might still use it. Overall, I really like this stuff, and I'm glad that this engine is running a lot better now. Moving on to engines, this is the first engine I got at the train show. This is a K-Line FM Trainmaster in the Lackawanna paint scheme, and it's a really nice engine. It has command control, it has rail sounds, it has knuckle couplers, directional lighting, and lighted number boards, and a smoke unit, which is really nice. This is my first diesel to have a smoke unit, and it's a really nice engine overall, and I really like the sounds. You will hear them in the end of the video. I will probably do a review of this engine, so stay tuned for that on the channel. The final item I got at the train show was this. This is a Right of Way Industries Berkshire in the nickel plate road paint scheme, and it is the famous 765. That's the cab number. It's the famous 765 Berkshire that still runs to this day. This also has an amazing sound system in it, which has a real recording of the 765 Berkshire's whistle, which is a very neat feature for this engine to have. It is not command control, it is conventional, as all the right-of-way engines were. This is number 68 of 110, so there weren't very many made, and it's amazing that I found this at the train show. I will be doing a review of this engine, so stay tuned for that for more information on it, so you can get some more of the features that this engine has to offer. Overall, it's an amazing engine, and I'm glad I picked this up at the train show. So that wraps it up for the stuff that I got at the train show. My overall experience at the show was pretty good. I got to meet some nice people and talk with the manufacturers of the trains that I buy, and I got to buy some really neat trains. It's always nice being at the show because I can talk with people, and it's nice to be in an atmosphere where I can talk a lot about trains. In school and other places, it's not very easy to talk to people about trains because most people aren't into them as much anymore. But it was a good time. I had a good time at the train show, and I'm glad that I went. Now I'm going to wrap up by running some of the trains that I got around and showing off some of the freight cars. But as always, like, subscribe, and click the bell for notifications. Comment below and tell others about the channel. I'm Sid, and I'll see you next time, guys.